Greetings, Patrick here for the 31 Days of Halloween 2023. We are at day 23. We are rolling along. After this, we will have 7 more to go. So, today's film that we'll be talking about, I dipped into the very best of the best. I dipped into the IFC Midnight stash to bring Bound to Vengeance. Man, whew, I don't know. I just felt like after watching the Den, I said, you know what? I need a flip side to that. And boy, oh boy, delivered in spades. This is an awesome movie. um, this is actually from 2014. This is on 2015. This is off the IFC Midnight label. And I'll give you the synopsis real quick. Says Eve breaks free after being chained to in a basement and abused for 9 months by a manipulative psychopath. Instead of fleeing, she discovers there are other girls just like her scattered around town. Now fueled with rage, she must force her captor to become the captive and lead her to the other girls before it's too late. So yeah, that's really what happens. We meet Eve pretty early on. We see that she's a captive. We see that her captive has made food for. Obviously, he's drived out to the middle of nowhere and he's cooked food, a vegetable stew. He goes downstairs where he's got captives, and he's going to give them food. And there's 4 girls in the room. The girl next to Eve is she's dead. But Eve strikes back. She's been planning and waiting, and she hits her captor in the head with a brick. Her captor's name is Phil, and she whacks him really good with the brick, knocks his ass out. While he's still there stunned and recovering, she goes upstairs. And when she goes upstairs, she's looking to get out. And while she's trying to do that, she runs across files of pictures of different girls with different numbers by them. And hers is this Eve 9 for a captive of 9 months. So now she knows that there's other girls out there. So instead of looking to run, she's looking to free. So she goes back downstairs. She finds a handgun that Phil's had upstairs. Finds a handgun and basically tells him that he's going to help her. And he says, "Well, what are you going to do? You're going to put me on a leash and make me do this?" As a matter of fact, that's not a bad idea, and that's exactly what she does. She puts his ass on a leash, a wire leash, like at least you see from the Main Society, and she takes his happy ass around town, starting in the van, and she starts messing him up. He gets messed up, but he deserves it, every inch. The first 2 houses that they go to free the girls, in another light, it's sort of ironic. And if it wasn't so absolutely black, you could almost claim it was sort of like dark comedy a little bit. But there's just no comedy in this at all. There's nothing. There's no funny business about it. But the first 2 girls that Eve tries to save, well, they've been tied up for so long and tortured and traumatized and raped so badly that they basically run like hell. The first girl runs like hell. She's scared shitless. She runs out. She sees her captor. She sees a girl with a gun. She runs. She's terrified, absolutely terrified. Eve tries to stop her, but the flight mode's just too strong. And she falls. She has an accident. She accidentally kills herself in her terror. So they get back in the van and they go to another house. And in this one, the girl has been tied up so badly that she's developed a case of Stockholm syndrome. That's where a captive identifies with her captor, or male. And so the second girl, even though she's being tortured, she's been conditioning us to believe that her captor cares for her. And when Phil, after Eve tells him to free her, and while he's doing that, he's telling her that Eve's going to be taking her place. And of course, that's not, that causes the other girl to fight. She's been so ingrained that she's, important, that she's basically lost her mind. Um, and so she tries to take out Eve, even though she's trying to save her life. And but so Eve is actually forced to defend herself. And then Phil tries to attack her as well, but she puts a bullet in his leg, and that's it for him. He goes down for the count, and then she wails on his ass a little bit more. So they go, and he's even though he's fucked up, even though he's being beat to shit, and he's got a bullet in his leg, he's still trying to gaslight Eve. He knows that she's been, captive for 9 months. Her mental state, and they don't hide this. Her mental state is on very thin ice. She's not that far more crazier than Phil is. Not by much. But she grabs Phil and she forces him to go to a. She forces him to go to another building. And so yeah, it's really really rough. Um, she goes there and she sees there's just a house full of girls, and she frees one named Leah, and Leah helps her, in this big warehouse. Uh, and Eve says that she has to keep going. Because she's looking for a certain girl. She's looking for a certain girl, and she's looking for her. And so, she tells us, you got to stay here and take care of the girls and call the cops. And when she goes back out to the van to get up to go, lo and behold, the van's empty. And it looks like Phil has actually managed to make his escape. Um, but not so fast. Not so fast. Oh, I'm not telling you every single thing that's going to happen in this film. There's some things here that you need to see for yourself. But Phil looks like he's going to escape. But, well, let's just say there's a wrench in the works that stops that. And so Eve manages to put Phil back in this place, and she goes to another house, supposed to be the last house. And Phil's laughing, says, "Oh, you're really gonna like that house." And they get there, and she finds out that it's her boyfriend. Um, and while she has been going on this night of rescuing, she has been remembering how this happened. And we go back to 9 months where Eve and two girls are, they're out there at an amusement park. Eve's boyfriend, Ronnie's there with them. It looks like just be happy, just a happy, good time. And so, imagine that the shock that Eve goes when she goes inside the house, and there's Ronnie. And it seems like Ronnie wasn't the doting boyfriend that he pretended to be. And so, and he tries to gaslight Eve, but that doesn't work out so well for him. When she opens the door and has him open the door and sees that there's more captives there. So she puts out Ronnie's lights for good and goes down. And the deal was supposedly that Phil had with Eve was he would tell her where all the girls were at. Then he would take him to either the police station or the hospital. The police station. He was going to tell you that she kidnapped him, or the hospital because he was really messed up at this time. But she says, no, not quite yet. We got one more address to go to. One more. And she shows Phil the address. And up to that point in time, we see Phil has been beaten and he's been wiped out. I mean, he's got a bullet in his leg. He's been clobbered from 6 weeks to Sunday, but he's always maintained his tough persona. He's always been trying to gaslight Eve throughout, even though he's been beat to shit. But when she shows him the address, he panics. He panics really hard. He's like, anywhere but there. Take me to the police station. Take me, I got money, I got, I got contacts, I got everything. I mean, don't take me to this address. Don't. And of course, you know what's going to happen, or do you? Um, so Bound to Vengeance, man. Wow, this is a badass movie. Um, I was really impressed with the cast. Richard Tyson is probably the biggest name in this movie. You might remember Richard Tyson from Kindergarten Cop. He played the bad guy in that movie, and he's played some bad guys in a lot of other movies. Uh, 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 he's actually very good in this movie. He's very sinister, very menacing, and he makes a great villain. The lead actress who played Eve, that was her name is Tina, I believe. Tina Islev. I had never seen her before, but she has a really interesting Jennifer Lawrence type of vibe to her in this film. That's what I kept on getting when I was watching and going like, man, she sort of reminds me of Jennifer Lawrence. I'm sure that's not by accident, but she's a sensational actress. I mean, I believe her for these revenge type of movies. Sometimes they go over the top, like way over the top to express like we're gonna get revenge. And director J.M. Cravito, he does a really nice job of restraining that because it would have been really easy to do, but he restrains it. And so by doing so, when he pops this big surprise out, it really does pop, and you're going like, oh shit. It's like The Den. It's the same thing with The Den. Once you find out what the secret is of The Den, when they pull back the camera and you see the bigger picture, then you're sitting there looking at the screen going, holy shit. And that's what you get for Bound to Vengeance. Uh, I really enjoyed this quite a bit. Like I said, the cast is strong. The music was really good. Um, the other actor I will mention in this movie that was really good was Bianca Molinsky, and that was the first time for me to see her as well. I thought she was great as Leah, and yeah, I actually got my copy of Bound for Vengeance. I got this years ago. I got my copy at the Family Video. Rest in peace. So I've had this one for quite a while. But I thought for 31 Days of Halloween, I wanted to do more than just one IFC film. I already done another one. I did Consecration, so you guys can go over there and watch that. And I did an IFC Midnight. So we got 7 movies to go after this. 7. This is 23. So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Ooh, I got more than that. Ooh, I got to get cracking. But thanks for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please consider giving us a sub. Drop a comment down below on Bound to Vengeance if you've seen it or not. If you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't, this might come back to visit us at the IFC Midnights. I'm not sure when that might happen, but I can rest assured that it will happen. All right. Well, thanks so much again for watching. We will talk to you soon. Peace.